welcome to Haven of Horror. I'm Subject. We've got Noah and Austin with us. Today we are watching the 1984 horror comedy classic Ghostbusters. I'm not going to do too much preamble because we've had a shit ton of technical issues. So, does everybody have their copy pulled up?
Yes.
I'm all ready.
All right. So,
Netflix is allowing me to change the speed that I watch it.
Yeah, YouTube does that too.
oh
Hmm.
my God. All right.
Oh,
so,
you can put it like in lower speed too. It's not just sped up. You watch this at half speed.
Oh my God.
That'll be an experience. Just get high and watch Ghostbusters at the lowest speed.
Whoa, nice shooting.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, play. All right. So just
There's
to get
the
the most
Columbia
obvious
logo.
question out of the way, what is everybody's favorite? Who is everybody's favorite Ghostbuster?
Ray.
Bankman.
Yeah, Venkman.
It's obvious. I mean, I really like Venkman, Stantz, and Spangler kind of almost equally, I would say. And Winston I like too, but just like he doesn't get enough. He doesn't get enough to do in either of these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to repeat the first movie in the sequel.
See, Ray was always my favorite as a kid. I think as an adult, I appreciate Venkman more. But I still have that like childhood, like, Ray's the cool one.
Oh,
Even though
understood.
he's not.
That's the whole thing with Ray is that he's the joke. He's the butt of the joke the whole time.
Well, it makes sense that that's Austin's favorite.
Well, yeah, and he's like
Ooh.
the optimistic one that's always happy. It's just like as a child, I was drawn to that, which is funny with me now. But
So this is a
Yeah.
wonderful opening. Do you guys remember libraries?
Yeah,
I remember flying books.
There's one I still go to get schoolwork done. Not to read
What are
books,
you
though.
in, like 2005?
You remember
Yes.
encyclopedias?
No.
Hey, not every Zoomer just stays at home and uses their phone.
Every Zoomer stays home jerking off when they could be going to the library.
Jerking off there.
Oh my God.
Well, that's why there's all the slime later on when they come back.
So obviously, this movie, this opening is much more tense than I think most of the rest of this movie will be, which I think is fun. Kind of like setting you up for. Well, this stuff is mostly played straight. I think there's not a lot of like goofy.
Most of the ghost stuff is played straight.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Like a lot of the ghost stuff is played straight. This scene is played straight. You know, when Dana sees Zool for the first time, I think that's pretty scary scene.
All right, so let me ask you guys this: how much of this movie's success was this theme song?
You have a mix of the theme song, one of like the most brilliant logos ever made, and very like iconic original like ghost characters like Slimer and Stay Puft.
Yep. Yeah, Stay Puft is one of the huge like pieces of iconography that have stayed with this franchise.
Yeah, exactly. And Slimer, I mean, is basically like the mascot.
Yep.
He's John Belushi.
This is a great introduction scene for a character like this. The perfect Bill Murray character.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I thought was interesting, because obviously this is very much a comedy, but we're not really introduced to almost what you could call the straight man in this movie until like almost halfway through. I thought that was kind of interesting, because I mean, there's an argument
with Winston
made that Winston would be in a traditional comedy the straight man.
Yeah, I feel like the straight man kind of alternates between who is like being more of the goofy one, because sometimes Peter is like the straight man to Ray. You know, when Ray's being like super nerdy, or even like Egon. You know, he's making fun of how nerdy both of them are.
Yeah, I think it's something that I've had like with like comedy, like when I try to write stuff, is that like this kind of thing. You kind of have characters who are crazy in their own separate way, so they act as straight men to the other characters because they're not crazy in the same way. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Always Sunny has characters like that too. Like there's no straight man in that show, but character will be the straight man when they're shown to be like comparatively less insane than the other person.
But I agree with you, Noah, that this is a great intro for him. And it still is like really funny.
Yeah. I always thought this guy that he was shocking was Rick Moranis when I was a kid.
I was gonna
I-
say, were you thinking he was Rick Moranis? He's just bigger
Yeah.
hair.
I was confused why he was playing a different character at the beginning of the movie.
But that's a different guy.
It's a different guy.
Why doesn't Louis Tully remember the guy that shocked him?
Why does he have an afro at the beginning? Here's Ray. The heart of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Just
And
Dan
obviously
Aykroyd being
behind
crazy
this-
about ghosts.
Behind the scenes,
Yeah.
we've talked about this off camera, but Dan Aykroyd is a big reason why this movie works the way it does, because he legitimately believes in this stuff.
Well, and his original script is apparently like 1,000 pages, and they had to like bring it down from that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was watching a clip of Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Ernie Hudson on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel or some late night show for Afterlife, and Aykroyd was talking about the original script, how it was supposed to be set in like a parallel dimension, and Harold Ramis and Ivan Reitman were like, "Hey, no, let's bring it back to, you know, something people recognize, which is New York."
Yeah, I've heard Bill Murray in interviews talk about how Aykroyd's original script is kind of incomprehensible.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, you've
Mhm.
heard Dan Aykroyd speak.
Yeah, I think he just kind of gets too lost in this stuff, and that's why you need somebody like a Harold Ramis, who is like a seasoned comedy writer, to kind of come in and focus those ideas and maybe add some more of the humor in.
Hmm.
And then, of course, Bill Murray, like, you know, he looks at the material and he's just kind of like, like, what about this? You know, what about that?
Well, yeah, Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd very much just play themselves in this movie, which is what works about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great line.
That's the other thing, is this is maybe like at the very least like in the top 10 like most quotable films of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
There's so many quotes I use from this
I
movie. I
always
keep
get
forgetting.
it wrong, but I love that quote towards the end where he's like, "Dogs and cats, that's hysteria."
Yeah, that's
Always
hysteria.
gets them wrong. He's just like, go attack her, Ray.
Go speak to her, Raymond.
Although my favorite is probably like, "Yes, it's true. That man has no dick."
Man has no dick. Well, that's what I heard.
That's the best part, is I never really noticed that as a kid. But the second it was pointed out to me, it's like, oh yeah, they do just kind of shove that in.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until I watched the review episode on that, where on Red Letter Media, where Mike complains about that.
It's like we gotta prove that he's not gay, just have him
Yeah.
yell, oh, that's what I've heard.
Such a terrible ADR moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's where they meet the librarian ghost. The gray lady, I think she's called.
She's a terrible librarian.
Mhm.
What? You're not
Oh,
supposed to stack books on the floor.
No human would stack books like this.
Egon's taking note, though.
Oh yeah, for future reference.
For future reference, exactly.
I gotta watch more Bill Murray films. I really love his like dry, sarcastic sense of humor.
Oh yeah, I love Bill Murray.
Harold Ramis wrote a lot of movies with Bill Murray, too.
They're
Oh,
in
really?
Stripes together, which is
Mhm.
an okay movie, but
And
they're
Harold
funny in
Ramis
it.
wrote Groundhog Day, I think.
And he directed it too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
You've never heard
Groundhog
of
Day?
Groundhog Day?
No, Stripes.
Oh,
Oh, Stripe. You never heard of Stripes? Okay.
No, of course I've heard of Groundhog's Day. It's like the most remade movie I think I've ever seen.
oh,
Yeah,
the
no.
slime also has to be a big thing for why this is as popular as it is, because just slime with kids stuff is big.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this movie played on Nickelodeon like once or twice, probably just because there's slime in it.
Yeah, I remember like they'd have like just those little like things of slime that you could buy,
Yeah,
and then like you take it out and you're
Well,
it's all
their whole like award show gimmick was slime.
slime where celebrities get slimed and stuff.
And now Harold Ramis is holding a rejected prop from Star Trek.
But it's become this big iconic thing, the PKE meter. I remember the PKE meter looking really weird in the 2016 movie. It looks nothing like it does in
Probably because
the first
everything
two
in that
movies.
movie looks weird.
But it
you don't like the dual pistol proton pack?
but it was like not even close to the design of the PKE.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie moves at a clip too. Like it's always going.
Yeah, so I had the chance to watch this before the commentary to just kind of prepare a little bit, and I was surprised at just how fast this movie goes. Like it's an hour and
Accomplishes a lot.
45. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it flies by. We are only 11 minutes in.
I'm already seeing them like seeing their first ghost.
Yeah.
They're gonna get her, guys.
Which sets up maybe my most maybe second most quoted line from this movie.
And I feel like an idiot because for the longest time I didn't realize that that was supposed to be a callback to the scene.
Yeah, I think like as a kid I never caught that.
Yeah.
And then maybe like in high school it was like, oh, that's
Oh, of
cool.
course. Yeah. But in the moment I was just like, oh yeah, that's a funny joke.
Yeah, because it just works in the moment.
But then, I got older. I kept watching this movie. I was like, oh, yeah, let's call back to that.
Which is funny because, like, in this scene, he's just, like, berating Ray about it.
Get her.
Get her. What a plan, Ray. Harold Ramis is also really good at the deadpan humor in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I collect mold, fungus, and
You
Spores,
really
molds,
can't
and
get all
fungus.
the,
I know.
the quotes right.
Spores, molds,
I
and
collect
fungus.
mold, fungus.
I told you I have trouble with
Yeah.
some of the quotes from this movie. I don't know why.
That's funny.
Yeah, Egon's another contender for one of my favorite Ghostbusters. Like, he's just, like, perfect at deadpan humor.
I think it's because I only watched this movie like once or twice as a kid. And I know I've only seen it once or twice because the only memory I have of this movie as a kid is the scene where the dog is chasing Rick Moranis. That's the only thing I remember about from
It's
watching
the only
this as a
thing you
kid.
remember?
From watching it as a kid, yeah. I
Oh.
don't know why that particular scene, but
Maybe it's because of the janky effects. with the
Yeah.
dog.
Maybe.
That's the one
That's the
visual
big
effect
like
that has
thing that
not
hurts
aged
this
well.
movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end of the movie.
Well, and the practical puppets for the terror dogs are great. It's just when they move, they're not and like it doesn't really take me. It's just they're not, I don't know, chroma keyed right. I don't know. They kind of stand out more.
Yeah. They look pretty good in Afterlife, despite the budget for that movie. Like being a
And
lower
I
budget.
was not expecting them to be practical like they were in the original, so that was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool to see them do practical. There's some CGI in there too, but there's shots where it's practical.
Well, it's kind of like this, except where they're practical when they're like just sitting there, and then
Yeah.
there's CGI when they're moving around.
CGI when they need to be CGI.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's the speech that Afterlife used for nostalgia bait in one of the trailers. It's just like drunk Bill Murray. Yeah, there is a little bit more like cynical humor in this movie compared to the other films, I think. I mean, there's still in the second one, but
Well,
this
and with the
movie,
second one, they're informed by like the cartoon, I think too. Where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that was a big thing. Like that's the reason you get Slimer having the role he
Slimer's
does in
in
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Slimer gets his own credit in the credits.
Slimer looks terrible in that movie.
In which one?
In Ghostbusters 2.
Oh.
It looks much worse. I don't know, just the puppet looks so weird to me.
See,
No,
I
fair
think he
enough.
looks weird in a couple shots here too.
At least he looks better than in the 2016 movie.
Yeah.
I love
Hey,
how
does this poll still work?
I love that's like the only reason they buy this place.
I love how like excited Dan Aykroyd is.
He's a kid in a candy store.
I love I gotta go get my stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look at how many cobwebs are on here. Like this place looks grimy and dirty.
This is just Austin's house. Like,
oh, they
You're
filmed
right.
in Canada?
Yeah,
yeah,
that is true.
there's Austin's backyard.
I wish I had a backyard that big. And like a terror dog statue is looking down at me.
So Austin, you weren't able to be with us when we covered this movie on the channel. So when did you first see this back in the day?
I don't have like memories of before Ghostbusters, if you will. It's weird.
Me neither.
These are movies that I think my mom thinks are just kind of okay, but like her and I would watch them now and then, and it was always like Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. Like there was no like, there was the lesser sequel. It was just kind of like, these are both these movies.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea Ghostbusters was the hated sequel until like I got older.
Louis Tully, who of course was written for John Candy.
I'm kind of glad they got Rick Moranis.
Yeah, I mean, I like John Candy, but I can't picture him in this role.
Yeah, he got the script and he was like, I don't understand this at all. So Ramis then sent it to Rick Moranis, who was like, please thank John Candy for rejecting this because this is perfect and I love it and I know exactly what I'm gonna do for it.
So
yeah,
Rick
and I mean,
Moranis
he's perfect.
Was obviously a big part of my childhood. I grew up with the
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids versus Spaceballs.
And
Well,
no, I didn't grow up with Spaceballs. It was mostly just the Shrunk the Kids trilogy.
Oh, okay, because I had the same thing, but with Spaceballs in this movie. Famously now, Vince Clortho only possesses people that shrink.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, we should.
Is it though? So the trailers. It was the first clip they
We know-
released.
I mean, we know that Gozer is in that movie. It did just come out, so we'll refrain from talking spoilers.
Fine.
Yeah, I can speak.
So another great. All around this movie has a great cast, but I really like what bleh. I can't talk to me.
There's
Ignore
Stay
me.
Puft. We're
There's
setting
Mr.
that up.
Stay Puft.
Yep.
There's the
Okay,
eggs.
so for a second there, as the camera was zooming in, I thought somebody just wrote Stay Puft with a marker on it.
That's their logo.
But no, she's really good in this movie. In both parts.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a Ripley kind of character, but she still pulls it off.
No, she's just kind of like regular woman living in New York.
Yeah. It's definitely not Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, this movie is so much better for not having a disgusting human alien hybrid.
No, this movie
And then in the second one, her main role is going, Oscar!
Oscar! My baby.
Oh, that's another big part of why this is successful is Ecto 1 is like one of the most
The Ecto
iconic
1.
cars of all time, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
There with Back to the Future DeLorean, other cars like that, Batmobile.
Yep. Which is why Ghostbusters 2 didn't do well as Batman.
Oh, true.
Because it came out the next weekend.
Forgot that was 89.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that this movie only had up until recently one sequel. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is vague enough. There's a lot of room there for different things.
I'm sorry about the bug-eye thing.
Sorry about the bug-eye thing. Egon is just under her desk for some reason.
Yeah, it's funny. They set these two up as like, a possible couple, and then they don't really go anywhere with that.
Yeah, the next movie it's her and Louis Tully, which is, I don't know. I don't really like that. I prefer her with Egon.
I feel like everything that they kind of left open that you could potentially build on Ghostbusters 2 is just like, nah.
Not everything, but some things.
Well, from what I remember, I haven't seen Ghostbusters 2 that much. I usually just watch the first one.
But they're both so good.
No.
Yeah, I'm already at a point where I'm like, I want to watch 2 after I finish this.
We'll do a commentary for 2 at some point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Austin, you haven't played the game at all yet, right?
I played like a level of it in the past.
Okay. Yeah, I played like the first level, I think, and it takes place at a hotel.
Well, yeah, it's the they recreate the Slimer
Yeah.
thing where you have to get Slimer at the hotel. Then you have to fight Stay Puft. Like, I think like shortly after that. So they do like the famous set pieces from this movie.
Is there like a reason for why they happen again, or is it just like they flash back to it?
It's just Slimer is like contained in the firehouse and then he just escapes. They have to just get him again. I forget why Stay Puft is there. It's been a while since I played it.
I think in the cartoon, Stay Puft becomes like a good guy after a few episodes.
Oh yeah,
That's strange.
well, no,
Yeah,
Slimer's just like their pet, the cartoon.
yeah, because like every '80s cartoon has that character.
Yeah, and check her out. Yeah, it's weird because Slimer's just a villain character in this movie, but they saw that and they're like, no, let's make him like the cute sidekick.
Well, in Austin, you weren't here, but Noah and I were talking about that. Is I do have memories of seeing, and we figured out it was the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon, the one in the '90s.
Okay,
I
yeah.
had seen parts of that on WB4 Kids as a kid before I even saw this movie. So when I saw this, I was like, "What are you doing? Slimer's not a bad guy. Stop!"
Slimer's a good guy.
Stop, you're hurting him.
John saw them shoot at Slimer and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I love how like
I
cheap
shouldn't,
looking this
Dex.
is.
You like how he
Boomer's-
what?
I love how like cheap looking some of this equipment that he has is.
What's he even doing?
I don't
Blowing
know.
air. It's technical, yeah.
It's Dr. Venkman.
Back
He's
off,
very
man. He's a scientist.
He's very sleazy in this scene.
Well,
You
I
mean
mean,
the
let's
movie?
be honest. Yeah, I was gonna say he's sleazy the whole movie. What are you talking about?
The whole
That's true.
franchise?
Well, he's like a game show host.
I wish somebody like Venkman was the host of The Price is Right. I'd maybe watch it.
I haven't watched The Price is Right since Barker retired.
I haven't watched it at all.
Growing up, my grandpa had a routine. 11 a.m. was Price is Right. Right after that was the news. And then right after that was Young and the Restless. So I've seen all three of those shows more than I ever wanted to.
Yikes.
And if he didn't get to watch what he would call his stories, he'd throw a fit.
Oh yeah, I've known relatives like that.
Granted, he was also deaf, so I'm not sure how much of them he actually like picked up. But by God, he was gonna watch it.
It's funny
Price
how
is Right is my favorite story.
the Price is Right story. It's funny how like weirdly more iconic Zool is over Gozer because of like the line, there is no Dana, only Zool, and stuff like that. Like
Cool
I don't know.
motherfucker, Zool.
Well, I can see
Yeah.
that though because Zool has more presence in this movie than
I think
Gozer does.
they just say her.
I
her
don't
name
know.
more.
I think it is the name thing more.
Yeah,
Because
they just say its name.
Gozer is freaking cool when you get there and it's like David Bowie.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I always thought that was Sigourney Weaver, so I thought it was confusing.
Austin, what was that
Oh,
one?
really?
You had it mixed up with some movie where you expected her to like drop the F-bomb or something? You told
What?
us the story before.
Huh?
You always got Gozer mixed up with some other movie.
No. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you sure you're not mixing me up with somebody?
I'm pretty sure it was you.
And I always thought Gozer was from something else.
Or you got Gozer and someone else mixed up.
Got
I don't know.
Gozer mixed up with David Bowie.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I would always get Michael Jackson and Chris Tucker confused.
Oh, you racist. Michael Jackson's a white guy. Love how Louis Tully always gets himself locked out of his apartment. So you think he'd learn by then.
Yeah, this movie, I guess both of them were really good at their like weird, like awkward, kind of sleazy guys between Louis Tully and Janosch.
Yadosh. Is Vigo. Yeah, Janosch is a weird dude.
I love Janosch though. He's wonderful.
It is funny though. Just remembered how in the 2016 movie they have a post-credit scene where they don't tease Gozer, they tease Zool. It's like she hears a voice and she's like, "Who's Zool?"
Everybody remembers Zool.
What's a
Wait,
Gozer?
that's what the teaser for 2016's like the post
Yeah,
credit.
they have
Who's the
post-credit
bad
scene.
guy in that movie?
Oh, it's some original character.
It's a fat white nerd that looks like one of us.
It's literally the villain of that movie is literally an incel.
Yeah,
It's really weird.
but I mean, it ends up being really, you know, a good metaphor for that movie when he does the pick the form of the destructor thing, and they pick the Ghostbusters logo.
Yeah, because they're destroying Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and there's the part where they shoot the logo in the dick.
Oh god. I love how he's jump scared by this guy, Peter. I think in the VHS version of this movie, Egon is completely cut off because it was in full screen, not widescreen. Just a random fact I remember.
That's really funny.
Random facts with Noah, the great Noah.
There's the proton packs.
It's funny though when you look back at this movie. It's like I liked Afterlife all right. I do think it goes a little far with like some of those nostalgia things, but they treat the proton packs and all the gear in that like it's this some sacred thing. In this movie, you know, they just kind of introduce them like it's not that important.
Well, it's that thing, right? When you're a kid, you know, this all seems very like serious,
Yeah.
at least for most kids. And everything that I've read about the movie, I'm the only one who hasn't seen it yet. Says it was directed like it was by a kid who grew up on the set of Ghostbusters. So that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And I think watching it under that lens is probably the best way to watch the movie. Yeah. It's not like a criticism of it; it's just something interesting I noticed.
I'm
I do
actually
think they
interested to see
do
it.
have some irreverence for Ecto 1, which surprised me. Like when you first see it, it's like they pull back a cloth and you see the logo and then the light goes out and they're just like, oh shit. And then the kid just leaves it. I was like,
Yeah.
and then like after that when you finally see it, he's just like, this car is shitty. Doesn't work. And
Well,
it's
they
like
did the
muddy
same
the
thing
entire
with
movie.
They did the same thing
Millennium
with the
Falcon.
Millennium.
But I guess it's just like how it's handled. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to see it. But I had this thought the other day. If Afterlife is successful, which it looks like it might be, we do get a sequel and it is good. Wouldn't it be fascinating if Sony pulls off with Ghostbusters what Disney couldn't with Star Wars?
I would love that as a Ghostbusters fan. But it's also pretty shitty as a Star Wars fan to have only like one good trilogy.
Hey, at least Jason Reitman knew to have the original characters in the same scene together.
Yeah. Here's our boy Slimer.
Only Dan Aykroyd can hold a cigarette to just his lips.
With his lips? Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That's crazy.
See, I don't know. I think he looks a little off here. The puppet.
No,
It
it's
might
kind of
be
like
his-
an 80s thing. I don't know. Like I think he looks fine.
I think it works in this movie. What I don't like in the second movie is just he's bigger and his I don't know, his face
He's
is
a
like
lot bigger in the second one.
yeah. I don't know. His face just looks really weird in the second movie. His mouth is bigger. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not.
No, I
Let's just
get
think
you.
of that shot where the bus door opens and he's like,
Yeah, he's like.
so weird.
What always fascinates me about stuff from the 80s is the stuff that you never expect to become iconic. Because I think if you're just watching this movie or just making this movie, you don't expect the little green thing to become the iconic thing from this movie, right?
Hmm. And Slimer is a tribute to John Belushi, if you didn't know that, John, which is kind of cool, because he was supposed to be in this movie and then he died. So they were like, let's make him a ghost.
I love that scream that he does.
Ah. You slimed me, Ray. It's great.
That's great. Get me
Yeah.
a sample.
That's great, Ray. Give me a sample. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's so iconic inherently about this scene. It's just, is it funny to see Bill Murray get slimed? I mean, it is, but that's the only
Scream
reason
is
why
hilarious.
I also think it's really funny in context with the rest of them because Bill Murray is always the one who comes out clean. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the movie when they're all covered in marshmallow, they're all drenched in it, and Bill
He's
Murray
got,
walks in, he's got like a little bit in his hair.
Yeah, he's got like one thing in his hair.
And in Ghostbusters 2, they go to the river of slime, but Bill Murray's like, I'm not going. You guys go. So they all
He's not-
get drenched in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a Bill Murray thing or if it's just like a joke, but it's funny.
Maybe they shot the scene first and he was like, I got covered in slime. I don't want to get covered in marshmallow or shaving cream, whatever they used.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, like, he looks completely dry in this. He just got slimed.
No, he looks slimy. He's got like there's like a glint to him from the light.
Yeah.
He's also just kind of dark.
And his shoulder
Yeah, a
is
little bit.
clearly wet.
Somebody really thinks this movie's funny.
Iconic crossing the streams, which ends up working out for them at the end.
Yep. And then
Well, that's-
Iron Man 2 will steal that.
It's hey Noah, you know what that's called? Set up and payoff.
Remember
But it was
that?
set up. But it was set up as a bad thing.
I just
Excuse
love how
me,
like,
Egon.
they show up and they're just terrible at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice shooting, Dex.
Nice shooting, Tex.
That's probably my most quoted line from this movie.
Oh, it's good. It's great. I think I heard somewhere earlier when like the maid's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I think that was an ad lib. I don't know how true that is.
Good night, John.
Okay, I didn't know that. Interesting. I'm pretty sure the flowers are still standing. It's just 80 yard. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
doesn't
got
sound.
The last time I watched it, where it's like they clearly just shot that, and they're like, "Oh, the flowers are still there." Have them say this in 80 yard.
The flowers are still standing. I like
That's what I
this
heard.
I like this right here when Ray's like, "Hey, don't look at the trap," and Egon's like, "I looked at the trap, Ray."
Yeah, it's great.
Man, now I really want to play that game and like read some of the comics and stuff.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
comics apparently just aren't available in Canada. Like,
they're hard to. I
cheap.
mean, they're really expensive on Amazon. I've never read them before. I want to read them at some point.
Yeah, I asked Captain Logan on Geek Flution about them, and he was like, "Yeah, just start with the." I think it's Eric Berman. I think.
Okay.
IDW run.
Yeah.
And then I looked into that, and it's like
We
$20
came, we
on
saw, we
American
kicked his
Amazon,
ass.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's not here.
So I was probably looking at the wrong one.
You were looking at the crossover.
There's no way the crossover is worth $300 to someone.
Somebody. Now, who do you think delivered the "we came, we saw, we kicked his ass" line better, Bill Murray or Hillary Clinton?
Bill Murray.
When did Hillary say that?
There's that when they killed Gaddafi. There's that clip of her where she's like, "We came, we saw, he died."
Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, that's Bill Murray, Hannah. No doubt.
Of course,
Like,
Bill Murray.
just quote Ghostbusters.
Badly.
Yeah,
We
she did a
came-
John quote.
We came, we saw, he died. This hairy guy in the background is just
Manson.
like he just walked on set. He wasn't an extra or anything. They
No,
just
of
kept him
course.
in. Yeah.
So
It's Jared Leto. It's his first film appearance.
Oh yeah, it's Morbius.
What if Morbius goes back in time? And then he shows up?
That's a big part of the plot of Morbius is that he goes to Ghostbusters.
Yeah. They're keeping it secret, but that movie's just gonna be him going across the Sonyverse.
He goes on Larry King, gets interviewed.
Which of course, this kind of predicted the fact that later on Dan Aykroyd would kill Larry King with his vodka.
That's such an awkward clip. You take a sip and he immediately starts dying.
Yeah, like it took a few years for his body to drop, but that was what ultimately killed him.
The Crystal Skull vodka. It kills.
So it is kind of interesting that we set up what is ultimately going to be the plot of this movie, and then kind of just put it on hold for a while to let them like establish themselves.
I like that because it's not like, oh, the villain and them becoming the Ghostbusters is happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You kind of spread that out to make it more natural. Plus, it gives us an excuse to montage with the theme.
This theme is just like perfection.
This is all for the theme. I don't know what the point of this part is, but
This is 100% just because Dan Aykroyd wouldn't.
Or why he's got like the Michael Jackson jacket.
So, guys, in this draft of the script, a ghost sucks my dick.
It was like what happened to me last night. I wrote my experience down into the script. The ghost told me that they would no longer befriend us after 9/11.
A specter floated into my room and pulled down my pants.
I no longer believe that ghosts will suck us off after 9/11.
Especially
you guys
not
haven't
after
seen
9/11.
The Crow, right?
No.
I haven't. No.
Okay,
need to.
'cause,
And Aykroyd
what-
sucks off the crow in it.
No, what's that actor's name?
Brandon Lee.
Lee.
No, the guy that's applying for the Ghostbusters.
Oh, Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, he's in that movie, and he's great in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Does he wear his Ghostbusters outfit?
No.
He's always wearing his Ghostbusters.
He's always
outfit.
wearing it.
Every con he goes to.
Every movie he's in.
Get a picture with Winston.
I feel like he
Yeah,
was in
and
something else I
Winston-
watched recently, too.
He was supposed to be Eddie Murphy in this movie
Yep.
at one point.
I'm
And
really glad
kinda,
that didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I like Eddie Murphy, but I'm glad that they picked Ernie Hudson because I think he fits more with the style of comedy this movie's going for.
I agree.
Yeah, that just seems like a get another bit. I mean, at the same time, that kind of fits in with the SNL comedian thing.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand why they were going for that.
Yeah, that makes sense, but
I don't have to take this abuse from you. I got 100 people trying to abuse me.
I mean, really the only two SNL alums in this movie are Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, I think.
Yeah, but they are like probably the two biggest actors in it. Or biggest
Yeah.
characters, at least.
But I think, because obviously it's hard to recreate this movie. That was one of the things that failed with the 2016 movie, where they just got all SNL actors. It's like, that's
Well,
not
and
why
the
this
quality
movie
of
was
the
successful.
SNL actors has went.
Yeah, the difference is that we
Yeah.
had original SNL cast members.
Yeah.
So this
You could have
we've-
done that with like the Bill Hader. I know we talked about it the other night.
I was about to say,
Bill
we've
Hader
discussed
would've been a
this a
good
few times
Ghostbuster.
just off camera. But if you could build your own Ghostbusters team, who would you guys
Oh.
pick?
You gotta put more thought
The
into it.
4
but-
people in this movie.
exactly.
No, a new
No,
Ghostbusters team.
I would want Paul Rudd in there, and I think I would want Bill Burr in there. I don't know how well they would work together, but Bill Burr is like his type of comedy is just perfect for Ghostbusters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm gonna
then
say, sorry, go ahead.
and then probably Bill Hader, but I don't really know who else.
I'm gonna say, yeah, sure, Bill Hader, Paul Rudd, Peter Cushing, and James Dean.
They can get busted by the ghost.
Actually, take out Bill Hader and put in Donald Pleasance.
I shot Slimer 6 times. Watch the iconic Twinkie scene.
Yeah, well, we can't stop referencing.
The reference to the Twinkie scene in Afterlife make you cry?
No, I rolled my eyes so hard.
I cringed.
I was like, oh my god, give me a break.
Here's Walter Peck coming up. Every movie I see this actor in, just think, oh, he's Walter Peck.
Yeah, that's who
There's
he
no
is.
other character. Yeah, he's that's all he is to me.
The
Walter
weirdest is the actor that plays Janosch in Ghostbusters 2 is in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's American in it.
Peck. Oh, weird.
I was like, no.
I'm not gonna get used to that.
Yeah, I was like, you can't do that to Janosch.
I am in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everything you are doing is bad.
I am from the Upper West Side.
The Upper West Side. Yeah, I was watching a movie with this actor a few weeks ago. It was like one of Spielberg's earlier movies.
Interesting.
Goldie Hawn's also in it, and I was just like distracted the whole time because it's dickless. I'm not gonna take him seriously.
At times, this guy kind of looks like Edge from WWE.
I guess I can see that, just with short hair.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Edge had short hair there for a while.
Oh, okay.
Later on in the.
Please.
Please.
Yeah. He gets to like.
I also like how
Sarcastic.
Venkman creates the worst enemy, the government.
Mhm. He's in the video game as well. I just remembered
really?
that.
Interesting.
The EPA is just evil. They're also the main villains of the Simpsons movie.
Yeah. Albert Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
He's just got like sliminess to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think ever since this movie, he's been typecasted as assholes. But yeah, well, he's in Die Hard as well, and he plays an asshole in that.
Is he?
Yep. Yeah, because I remember seeing
Yeah.
him in Die Hard and being like, "Oh, it's Walter Peck."
Yeah, he's the reporter in that, or one of the reporters.
Oh, okay. I feel like I'd have to be like paying attention.
Of course, Egon would like that. It is very phallic.
It's a big Twinkie. What about the Twinkie?
So I'm not a huge like comedy guy. Obviously, I like horror comedies like this, but I have to say this is definitely one of my favorite like comedy movies.
No, this movie's hilarious. And I think even with 2, I think that's one of the biggest things that is overlooked about that movie is I think that movie's really funny too.
Yeah.
Not to the extent, but it's still a really funny movie.
It's not as quotable for most people, but there's some quotes that
Guys,
I
we're watching Gargoyles.
Ghostbusters too. Oh my god, it's Gargoyle.
Have you guys ever seen that show?
Like an
No.
episode or two.
I
I
know
went
about
back
it,
to
but
that like
I've
when
never
Disney
seen it.
Plus first launched. It still holds up.
That was a show when Disney Plus launched where I was like, oh, I need to finally see this, and then I didn't.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it. It was just before my time.
I know, you gotta watch Midnight Mass so we can do a video on it.
But me?
I was talking to Austin, but okay.
I thought you
said
said
you
no.
said Noah.
No, I didn't. I said I
Yes,
know.
you did.
I said I know. You still gotta
Fuck
watch.
off. You said hey Noah.
Fuck you, Austin.
Okay, the important thing is Lewis Tully's continuing to simp for Dana.
Yep. Everybody's always simping for Dana.
I'm missing
Sigourney Weaver.
that actor pop up in movies.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he retired to take care of his kids.
Mm-hmm.
But he's coming back now.
He's coming
Mhm.
back for Shrunk,
Oh,
the Honey I Shrunk the Kids reboot.
Ah.
It's called Shrunk.
They should do Honey I
Uh,
Shrunk the Ghostbusters.
Austin, have you ever seen Little Shop of Horrors?
No, I want to.
I do too.
He's
I
the
haven't
best
seen
part
that
of Spaceballs, like by far.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
absolutely.
Like all the villains are like the only really funny part of that movie. Or like
That's
the
probably my
funniest part.
least favorite Mel Brooks film that I've seen.
Mine too. I mean, I like it. It's just not. It's not as funny to me as some of his other movies.
Although the one scene where they're making fun of the Luke, I am your father, makes me laugh every time.
What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Oh
That's where
no. Sigourney
the
Weaver's gonna get
puppeteer-
groped.
Yeah. Puppeteer gets a little handsy.
The way that they shoot this is kind of weird, right? Because it gets almost suggestive for a minute and then pulls her in the door.
It gets almost what?
Suggestive there for a minute, like it's gonna go a different way, and then they pull to have her pull through the door.
Well, yeah, the chair turns and then I think they just immediately pull her through, right?
No, that thing's like trying to take her shirt
Oh.
off.
Yeah, well, no, that's just because the puppeteer's getting a little.
Yeah.
Yano's just one
Like-
of the puppeteers.
This is my chance.
My hands should touch the weave.
the gatekeeper.
Oh my
One
god,
of the
it's
worst metaphors in any movie ever.
it's the girl from the Ninja Turtles cartoon. I can't think of what her name is.
April O'Neil.
Yeah, no, it's like Girl Urkel.
It's Gurkle. I'm sorry. I love I don't know. It just seems like nobody likes him at this party.
No, because he hired he brought
Well, maybe if
clients.
we start dancing, other people will join in.
Yeah. And then, oh, I gotta get the door. I love he takes their coats right here, and like he doesn't even go to hang them up. He opens his closet and just throws them on the floor. Like, what kind of host are you?
I also love that like new people come in, he just starts screaming who they are into the party.
It's Ted and Annette. Okay, who brought the dog?
See, yeah, that looked really bad.
Hmm.
Now that looks really good. Like when it's just a puppet.
Yeah, when it's an animatronic, it looks good, but when they have to do stop motion,
It doesn't look like it's there.
It's just, I
Yeah.
think the biggest issue is that the coloring on it's not right.
That could
Yeah.
be.
It's
'Cause,
not
like,
like
I think
implemented
of-
properly.
Because I think
Yeah.
of stuff like Ed 209, which still looks janky, but looks like it's still there. Whereas that just
Well,
doesn't look like it's there.
stop motion always has just a janky look just by the nature of what it is. I think there's a charm to stop motion though. This I think is just it's not put in right.
No, I agree with you. There is a charm, like I mentioned, Ed 209 or
Even going back to like Harryhausen, yeah,
and
Or like
I'm not
Jason
familiar
and the
with
Argonauts,
I'm
yeah,
not
Clash of
familiar
the
with
Titans,
Harryhausen.
or even stuff like
like first Terminator, the ending of that.
Yeah, I
in
love the ending of the first Terminator.
Army of Darkness when they do the like Jason and the Argonauts esque
Yeah,
skeletons.
Danny DeVito. Sorry, I wasn't watching chat. Unknown passenger. Does anybody have a timestamp?
oh yeah. My timestamp is. Oh, hold on. Never mind. I go to Netflix. It just tells me how much time I have left. Thanks, Netflix.
We're
I'm
at
at
55 minutes.
Yeah, 55 minutes. Rick Moranis just got eaten. Not eaten, but he's
Yeah,
gonna become
that scene where he's like up
Keymaster.
against the window and then like there's nothing there. That is the only scene I remember from as a kid watching this movie.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
it's probably because of the effects, I would assume.
That and probably because of Rick Moranis, because I know I saw at least Honey We
And
Shrunk
just the fact
Ourselves.
that he's being eaten against the window and nobody cares.
Yeah, no
Well, see,
one
I always
cared.
assumed it was they couldn't see the dog.
No, it's because it's Louis Tully and nobody likes him.
But still, like, guy screaming outside, they're not taking it seriously at all. They're just like, oh. Isn't it weird that he brought like tranquilizers?
Are you
on
the
this-
keymaster? Not that I know of.
Somebody asks you if you're the keymaster, you say yes.
Yes.
No, but I love that reply. Are you the keymaster? Not that I know of.
Love
Yeah.
later when she's like, "Do you want this body?" Is that a trick question? You gotta prepare for Gozer.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's got the fat controller, like just his head next to that mirror. It's gone now, but
Oh,
from
what?
Thomas the Tank Engine. I don't know why, but she just has like, a giant his head next to a mirror. I remember we
Completely
watched.
missed that.
I remember we watched this with Cap, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, did anybody notice that?" And nobody did, so I had to like go back and screenshot it.
The vet controller.
That controller, he was decapitated by Zool.
Dana Barrett decapitated the fat controller.
Now she's going to decapitate Venkman.
Venkman's a good guy, though. He's not gonna get involved with possessed people. Good for him.
I do like that, even though like he's, kind of a dick sometimes. Like he's not going to take advantage of possessed.
Yeah, there's that, but also I think he's looking out for his own safety.
Well,
like what would happen?
But
And
I
it's also
think
weird.
the way Murray plays it is he's clearly concerned about Dana.
He's definitely just like
Maybe.
freaked out.
I know.
This is creepy. Like I don't care how old you are.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really creepy.
Which
I know
is
that-
funny because I think she's played up as creepy and he isn't. When you cut back to Louis Tully as Vince Clortho, which is funny
Yeah.
because Louis Tully obviously is a comedic character while Dana isn't, and they're kind of
Yeah.
possessed versions carry that over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that works still because like it's still established the threat with Dana being really scary in this scene.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, Vince Clortho, I think, gets one of my favorite jokes in the movie, where he's just screaming about how like everyone's gonna like burn or whatever, and he trips over trash as he's yelling.
What an asshole!
What an asshole!
You can come down now. Yeah, and I love when he's like, or Janine's like, would you like some coffee?
Yeah, because
And
it's
he's like, yes, have some.
Yeah, let's have some. Even like he just looks nuts. Like his
Yeah.
design's great.
yeah, he's just
Gatekeeper.
kind of like
He
pathetic and
talks
crazy.
to a horse.
He has the red lights, the red eyes.
You're the gatekeeper. Yeah, I love it. And he's just convinced that this horse is the gatekeeper.
What an asshole!
It's another great line right here. Dropping off or
Dropping
picking
off
up.
or picking up.
Yeah.
You know, you're a real humanitarian.
I'm very psychic about these things, Egon.
I think you will die.
I don't think he's human. I love that the thing on his head is just like looks like a colander with a bunch of crap on it.
Yeah, and I love how they have like the little 3D model of the Terror Dog.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is that same box of Cheez-Its from earlier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Giant slore.
Giant slore.
I love how they deliver like just gobbledygook in this movie.
Oh yeah. I can't even tell. I just thought of this now. Like, is this completely? Does Dan Aykroyd believe in all of that?
I hope
Because
so.
I want
It's
Dan Aykroyd to just put up a video of him talking about the history of the slore.
Okay, everybody, the giant slore is coming.
I love that he's rubbing pizza on his face.
A lot of lesser vodkas will put glycol in them. Instead, I will take a slore and I will take its flavor and I will put it in my vodka.
You
Oh
see,
my God.
slores are attracted to glycol. You don't want that. My Crystal Skull vodka will mask any attraction from a slore to you.
It will. My Crystal Head vodka will protect you from the slore when it comes to slaughter.
When the slore arrives. Yeah, but I know it's just like it is gobbledygook.
But it's like memorable gobbledygook where
Yeah,
like you just hear that and you're like, that's funny.
yeah, and it's you get someone as talented and funny as Rick Moranis to say it. I like how he just gives him a lamp. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
It
passionate. I
works.
don't know what he doesn't
I
believe
think
with
what
this.
makes it work too is that he's got like the, you know, he came as a giant slore. And then he has
Yeah.
that line afterwards where it's like, let me tell you, like many people were, you know, whatever, the slur
Many
that
people were
day.
slaughtered on that
It's one of
day.
those things where it's memorable gobbledygook delivered by an actor who knows how to deliver it.
So this is a very simple scene, but it's always just like stuck out to me for some reason. Like it's obvious like what they're talking about, like how they're kind of foreshadowing the ending, like how it might be Judgment Day, end of the world situation.
Well, it kind of
But,
reminds
like,
me of the Atop the Fourth Wall movie where they're like, "Hey, do you believe in God?"
I was
Or
hoping
not.
you were gonna bring that up.
But no,
But
this scene's great.
it's not
And
like a
it's like a
super
moment
deep.
of sobriety where it's just like
Yeah,
a serious moment.
it's
Yeah.
kind of just like Winston and Ray kind of bonding a little bit, just like getting along.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, it's a nice scene. It's not super deep or anything, but it's always just stuck out to me for some reason.
Yeah. Well, and all four of these actors have just great chemistry. And while
Mhm.
we're not being funny, like we're just playing with those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
This
course
movie
he
also
doesn't
has a
want.
great soundtrack. I've been listening to the soundtracks for 1 and 2 this week, and they're great.
I only have the first one. I don't have the second one. But the second one has a really good soundtrack aside from
Run
the
DMC Ghostbusters cover.
the Run DMC version.
Rowan Vodka to be the first.
I
Yeah.
love the theme to 2. Like that's a song I never really hear people talk about, but I like it a lot.
The
All on our
bodyguard.
own.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. It's a great song. I hear that on the radio sometimes, which is strange because Ghostbusters 2, it's not like an obscure movie, but it's regarded as a failure.
I
And
think
that's just like,
though that song is kind of separate, like because it's not like oh Ghostbusters. Like there is that part in the song, but like you
yeah,
could easily listen to that and not realize it's a Ghostbuster song until you get to the
that one verse
yeah
where he's like,
exactly.
trying to battle my
Boy,
boys.
that ain't
It's not
legal.
legal.
Yeah, my mom, her work used to have like an annual summer party, and I remember I was there one year, and the DJ just started blasting on our own. And I turned to my mom and I was like, "Do you know what song this is?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "This is the theme to Ghostbusters 2." And she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, you hear about Vigo, the master of evil?"
Yeah, grab the proton packs.
At the back end they split.
Yeah, that song's also in GTA 5, funnily enough.
Oh,
Like
that's
of all
awesome.
things. Yeah, just like I was flipping through the radio and that song came on. It was like, oh, it's awesome.
That's awesome too because they have like Ghostbusters mods.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't even think of that. This asshole shuts down the protection grid. And then they rip off To Boldly Flee in this next scene.
This is like the ultimate film bro thing too, right? Where it's like, when you actually think about it, Walter Peck was kinda right.
Oh god. It's like the Thanos was right, people. The first instance of that.
Well, it's just like, yeah, like we get it. Like they're, you know, not responsible people. It's a comedy. It's like,
Yeah. That's the whole joke. Is they're schlubs and they save the day. They're not I mean, you could see them as heroes if you want, but like, I don't know. I feel like this movie's a little bit more cynical than later Ghostbusters movies.
yeah,
Well,
I
that's the
think,
thing, right? You make the first movie. They're not really superheroes, but by the time you get to sequel, they're gonna end up being some
Yeah.
kind of
one
superhero.
having a kids cartoon definitely like helps, like, especially when your
Yeah.
second movie is influenced by that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
this
and
is just a thing where, like, if you're a kid watching this movie, you don't get that they're not heroes.
no,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Ghostbusters was a big part of my childhood, and like, I didn't take it 100%. I knew that it was a comedy, but like, I think I appreciated the comedy more when I got older.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's Ron Jeremy.
I didn't really think about it until this week. I like that the Ecto One Siren is in the theme song. Like, that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's a nice
it's got
effect.
like, yeah. I'd never really thought about it, but like, though they kind of like recreate it with instruments.
So I was thinking about this when I was rewatching it because I never thought too much about
Your mother.
this guy's motivation. He really only
What?
hates the Ghostbusters because Winkman embarrassed him, right? Like,
Probably a part of it.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's a giant peck.
no, it's because he has no dick.
Have you guys heard?
Oh,
the
he
full
has
version?
no peck.
Yeah.
There's no peck. Have you guys heard the full version of this song?
Think so. Isn't this like a really long song?
It's weird. It starts off as this strange, like cheesy love ballad, and then it changes and it goes into a different section, and it's this part, which is
Oh,
what they use
weird.
in the movie. But like at the beginning, it starts out as like a completely different sounding song. It's strange, and it's like not that good of a song too. It's like this cheesy '80s love ballad.
Do you guys think it's weird that you have like all these different ghosts and then all of a sudden there's a zombie?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that zombie though. I think he looks cool.
No, he looks awesome. It's just kind of weird. Like it's one of these things are not like the other.
Yeah,
There's our boy
everything else
Slimer.
is like
There's John
ghost.
Belushi. He's eating all the wieners.
They're just kind of, they're not like ghosts of people. They're just like creatures.
Yeah.
What is Slimer? He slimes things.
Yeah, that's kind of something interesting that they never really go into because there are like humanoid ghosts, and then there's stuff
Yeah.
like Slimer. So it's like,
Well,
what
the
is
second
that
movie
exactly?
has those brothers that like got the
Mhm.
death penalty.
Yeah, and like the people on the Titanic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
See, that's something I wish we'd explore with a sequel is like go into the rules of this universe and like how this stuff works.
I think the video game goes into it a little bit. Like, well, but there's like, it's like extra stuff that you can read on the side.
One of the versions of Ghostbusters 3 was going to have a Slimer origin too.
Oh my god.
What
Yeah,
about
that's just apparently like a
Slimer?
thing.
Slimer the Mafia boss.
Because that was the 2016 thing, was Slimer's going to be like a mafia guy back in like the Capone era. In Ghostbusters
dumb.
3, the version that I forget which version it was. I don't think it was one of the Aykroyd ones. I think it was later when they started to get other writers on. I think the movie was supposed to open with like Ivo Shandor doing like a thing, and he like kills one of his followers, and his follower is Slimer.
Oh, okay. And like regardless, I don't need an origin for Slimer, but that would have been interesting.
Yeah,
It'd be
it's just
something
like a
I'd see out
thing
of
where
curiosity, but I don't need it, you know.
I feel like giving Slimer an origin just takes away from that. Like we don't need origins for the other ghosts.
Yeah.
He's Slimer. He's there. He slimes you.
Do we need an origin
We
for
know.
the Stay Puft Marshmallow Company?
Yes.
No, guys, we all know the origin
Ivo
of
Shandor
Slimer.
created it. It's a
Aust-
shell company.
Slimer is Austin from the future who came back in time to be in Ghostbusters.
If I were Slimer, I would literally be so happy. I'd be sliming day and night. It would be awesome.
Oh my
Eating
God.
hot dogs.
I'd be sliming all day.
He's sliming day and night.
Everybody get that?
So be good. I screwed that up. Somebody's coming. He's
And his name is
sliming day and night.
Slimer.
Yeah. Sliming day and night. Feels fantastic.
I'm sliming day and night. It's great.
Sumerian, not Babylonian. Here's the guy that plays a cop and everything.
I forgot he was in this. He's only in it for like a second.
He's in it for that one thing. Just to be like, hey, Ghostbusters. Except he didn't shoot a kid in this movie.
Oh. What if he did and that kid is Slimer?
Oh my god.
Slimer
It's
is the
origin for
afterlife.
Slimer.
Oh my god.
Slimer was killed by police brutality.
No.
Hashtag
this-
all slimes matter.
Is this the
That's what it would be
Ghostbusters
today.
reboot written by Jordan Peele?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jordan
Jordan
Peele.
Peele plays Slimer.
And we're canceled.
Time to shut the stream down.
It's all over, folks.
It's all over.
Where do those stairs go?
To the bang room.
Ooh, my.
Do you get it? She's the
Why?
gatekeeper and he's the keymaster.
This song
Yeah.
gets stuck in my head a lot. The Saving the Day.
Saving the Day. Saving the Day is
Yeah.
awesome.
Saving the Day.
Saving the Day.
Yeah, and I'm like with 80s music. Like there's some music I like, but soundtrack for this movie's pretty good.
I love with the mayor in the second movie. There's the bit where Dan Aykroyd's like, "Mayor, it's great to see you. I could proudly say that just under 50% of us voted for you in the last election." Unknown passenger, is Austin even human anymore? No.
No.
That's why I keep Frank Stallone around at all times to represent humanity.
Man has no dick.
Well, that's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Is Austin even human anymore? I don't know.
Yeah,
Austin, are
no.
you even human anymore?
I already answered that, you fuck.
Oh,
Well, first of all, anymore. What do you mean? Is he human at all?
we all know Canadians aren't human.
If I died, or like, even if I was alive and I just looked like Slimer, though, like, that'd be so cool. I'd want to be Ghostbusters 2 Slimer, though, where I'm slightly bigger and can be like,
You can drive a bus.
Oh god, that was creepy. Oh my god.
Real Wrath of God stuff.
I have seen
Thank-
shit that would turn you white.
Yep. I think in the second movie, Winston tries to shake the mayor's hand. He just leaves him hanging.
I don't remember that. Oh no, the mayor's a
Yeah.
racist.
Mayor's a racist.
That's why less than 50% of them voted for him.
Yeah, Winston didn't vote for him.
I just love that line because there's only 4 of them.
Mass hysteria.
Everybody remembers mass hysteria.
Imagine if Ghostbusters
Austin
Afterlife
is
used that
Canadianing
speech
around.
in one of the trailers to be like emotional. Dogs and cats living together.
Well, isn't that
Mass
speech?
hysteria.
Isn't like part of that speech written down or something in that movie?
I don't remember.
But it like cuts off before dogs and cats living together. I can't remember.
I don't think so. I don't remember that, but I could be wrong.
Oh
Hey,
no, I'm
Austin,
thinking of the
stop
Bible passage.
Canadianing around.
Oh, you
Oh,
just
I'm sorry. Here.
Don't you fucking.
It's Clifford.
It's Clifford. Everybody loves the big red doggo.
The doggo.
I didn't know Clifford was Canadian.
I'm gonna miss him.
No, he's Italian, actually. It's a little known fact.
Come
Oh,
on, let's
damn.
run some red lights.
Gotta get the military together so they can stand outside the building.
Yeah.
Would this movie be better if the army did like a dance number? Do you guys think?
Stop dancing.
Or just stood like this. Yeah.
I love that 2 ends with a montage of them dancing through the movie.
Yeah.
You assholes are gonna make me watch that remake, aren't you?
I bet I am.
Yeah, sure.
Noah's like really excited to watch it for some reason. It's very
Well,
strange.
it's because
He
you
loves that
guys have.
movie.
Well, it's because you guys haven't seen it, and you need to suffer.
Noah and I also make fun of 2016 constantly with the "Where's my wonton?"
Wonton. Yeah, because it's like such a dumb joke.
It's okay. It's okay. No, we know that 2016 is your favorite Ghostbusters movie.
No, it's not. Ghostbusters 2 is my favorite Ghostbusters movie. No, it's
I mean,
this
that
one.
makes sense. It's just the first movie.
It's the first movie, but with Janosch.
Yeah,
It's not completely the first movie.
yeah. I feel like that gets
Like-
exaggerated. Like it definitely is in structure.
It's got that sequel problem where it repeats. Like there's things
Too
that
much, but
yeah, it's not literally the same movie.
and I don't think they don't really like call back to jokes and stuff. It's more just like structurally, where it's like, oh, this is the part where they go to prison.
But
Oh,
I
this is the
mean,
part
like,
where like Dana is like scared by a ghost thing, and it's like, come help me.
I don't really blame them. Like, this movie's really well structured, and I'm not sure how I would do it differently. It's good that like Afterlife shook it up a bit though, and that's pretty different for a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, even like the kind of stuff that they do that these two movies do feels differently. Feels different.
Feels
Um,
differently.
Feels different. It feels definitely, you know.
It hits different.
Jesus Christ, he's having a seizure.
Oh, they're dead.
I like that the earth just swallows them.
So, Austin, with the long weekend coming up, have you decided what you want to pair with Overlord?
No, I keep forgetting I have to
Overlord.
do that.
Oh yeah, I still have to see Overlord.
It's great.
It's okay.
No, it's great.
No.
It looks
Yeah.
cool.
But
When
It
it-
is
when-
cool.
when
I
it
love
came
how
out,
they
I
make
was
a
like,
big deal out of the cars, and then they immediately just plunk.
Well, it's great. You get saving the day and like this big like long build up of them driving there, and then the earth just swallows them.
Well, the greatest juxtaposition.
Yeah,
when
in
they
like a
come
minute.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're all just cheering, and then it cuts to them like struggling to walk upstairs.
Yeah, and when you get saving the day again, it's blasting. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. This movie's awesome.
No, this I think is one of many like just perfect films from this time, kind of like Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, I like this way more.
Well,
than Back to the
genre
Future.
stuff was like
So do I.
Ooh, that's a tough choice for me. Because
Yeah,
Back to the
they're both
Future.
great movies for different reasons, but
Well,
I think
yeah,
ultimately
I
I
agree,
prefer the
but
flavor of Ghostbusters.
Back to the Future was my Ghostbusters for you guys. That's the movie I watched a lot as a kid.
Well, the thing to
Um,
remember too is that there's Ghostbusters and then there's Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like genre film was like exploding in the 80s. Like horror was on all cylinders.
Oh, yeah.
Science fiction.
Yeah, it's a pretty good decade for movies, I'd say.
It's no wonder everybody's nostalgic for the 80s.
I don't know about TV or music.
Hey, Lewis Tully, come get
Well,
your virginity out of the lost
Music.
crowd.
I don't know about TV, but music. You had some good stuff, but it wasn't like the mainstream popular stuff. That's
Some
really
good
the
80s music.
that's the 80s is really the decade where like you got like the mainstream pop stuff, and then you get like
Yeah.
and all decades have this, but I think 80s is the one that I think of the most. And then if you go like looking into some of the more underground stuff, you get the better stuff.
Yeah.
80s thrash metal is watch Back to the Future way too much that I don't get much out of watching it anymore. That's fair. I haven't seen that movie in a while, but I used to watch that constantly.
I remember because I didn't see that movie until I was in high school. And I remember when I was a kid,
really?
my dad was like, "Oh, there's this really great, funny movie where this guy goes back in time and he meets his mom, and his mom's trying to bang him, and I was just like, "What?"
What the fuck? That's a terrible way to describe that movie.
Yeah.
And that
No,
was
my
just the only thing he said about it, and I was just like, for years, like, oh, that's really weird. And I remember some of my VHS tapes had the preview for it, where all I remember from it was just the "Oh, hi, Calvin. Why do you keep calling me Calvin? It says it on your underwear."
They don't know what
I never realized it was
Calvin
the
Klein
same
is.
movie.
Your dad also kind of described that Futurama episode where they go back in time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is a parody of
He
Back
be-
to the Future.
he becomes his own grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and not only was high school the first time I saw that movie, but the first time I saw it was in French.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had to watch
What?
it French dubbed, and I had no idea what was happening.
Marty McFly. That's not a French accent.
What was that?
Yeah.
So, Austin, I want you to recreate Back to the Future in French.
Bonjour, je m'appelle
Martin
McFly.
My camera was like all out of focus. That was weird.
Oh. I thought you were trying to you were snapping at Austin to do it quickly.
No,
But now
I'm trying to snap to get my camera to focus.
Okay,
See that
she's a
stuff
dog
right
now.
there, like where the dogs are running up the stairs. That looks really awkward.
I think it's far enough away that I'm not really thinking about it too much.
There's some really cool imagery though, just of
Mhm.
with the
Austin,
pyramid.
unknown passenger says grad A description.
You mean grade A?
Well, they typed grad.
Grad. I'm assuming they meant grade.
I'm just reading it word for word.
Those are the Gozarian? Would you like to try my Crystal Head vodka?
No.
No, there is no slur in it.
There's no glycol. Go get her.
Yes, the person I thought as a kid
Go
was
get her, Ray.
when Cap on Geek Pollution and I first met each other. I don't think there was a single conversation we had where I didn't yell "Go get her, Ray" at some point in the conversation.
Really?
For the first 2 months at least of us hanging out, yeah. Yes, the
It's
person I
being
thought
all
was Sigourney
official.
Weaver as a kid.
I got a question for you guys. Are you a god?
Yes.
No.
You're supposed to say yes.
Oh.
Damn it.
And die. I love the turn.
You
So
gotta
good.
get ready.
I love the wire work of the one guy just going up and over.
It's flying up. That was really stupid.
This is where they grab their sticks.
They heat him up.
They make them hard.
This chick is toast.
Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do it downtown.
We're just quoting the movie at this point,
I
guys.
know, right? It's so quotable, though. It's a quite a lot cabaret.
Look at these heroes.
This is nearly a perfect movie.
No,
It is a
there's no
perfect
nearly
movie.
involved.
It is a perfect movie.
It is a perfect movie.
This is a 5 out of 5.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. There's no way you can make this movie better.
It's a 4.5 out of 5.
No, you cuck. It's 5. You prehistoric cuck.
You see the kind
Krispy
of
Kreme
bullying I
motherfucker.
get Cream of the crop. Wait, no.
No. It's millet time.
I like the way he pronounces it. It's millet time.
Milla time.
The like city on the outskirts looked really good.
Oh,
For-
unknown passenger knows what's up. He says it's a 69 out of 69.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Nice.
That's the marijuana number.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's the sex number.
Austin, I know you have 0 IQ, but damn.
Imagine if you were on like a sex line video call and you log on and the person you're on the call with is Slimer. What would you guys do?
I'd hang up.
What is it, like Slimer from the cartoon where he's got that high pitched voice?
He would have that voice, but he would look like Ghostbusters 2 Slimer.
Oh, so it's like a video call. He like, hello, it's me, Slimer.
And then he starts shooting Stay Puft at you.
He starts sliming at the camera. Oh, that's disgusting. I don't want that in my head.
So, if you guys were in the situation, what would you guys pick to be the destructor?
What's weird because how would you even?
Okay, but
how
see,
would
here's
you?
the problem.
You're
Here's-
inevitably gonna pick something because your brain's gonna think of something.
Here's the
That's
problem, though. What are the rules?
We just have to think of something.
Right, but if I think of something like, say, just a rock, is it gonna become a like Indiana Jones
Giant.
style boulder?
What's going to become a giant rock? Yeah.
But
Yeah,
how do we know
it'll-
that for sure? We only have one piece of evidence. Oh,
Well,
this
because
fucking
Bill
camera.
Murray was like, if you think J. Edgar Hoover, a giant J. Edgar Hoover will show up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and-
anything I think of is gonna be giant.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Ray thought of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, so
Which is,
Here it
I
is.
think, one of the greatest jokes of all time.
yeah, it's hilarious. Just this giant, like, happy, friendly guy wrecking a town.
Everything
like
about it
Godzilla.
is perfect the way it's set up, where you can just hear it coming, and it's like, uh-oh.
I think before
He's
I
got
watched
that really retarded grin.
before I had watched the full movie, I think I saw this scene just on TV out of context. And I was like, is this the Pillsbury Doughboy? Is the main villain of Ghostbusters? Like, what's happening?
Something you don't see every day.
That's something you don't see every day.
No one steps out of church in my town.
Okay, I would think of a piece of paper.
Oh god. That's horrifying.
Yeah, it would cut you.
Yeah, it would
But
like
it wouldn't-
slice you in half
you're in
with
New-
like paper cut.
You're in New York. It wouldn't reach anyone. It would fall on a skyscraper.
No, because it would be like fully controlled and it would fly around slicing everybody.
It would be sentient.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, no, it'd be sentient, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
That's
See,
terrifying.
He steps on a church. I don't know. Like, if you were in that situation, like, I don't know, you wouldn't be able to like make your mind blank at fast under pressure. I don't think. So it would just be like whatever's in your brain at the moment.
So
Whether
what
you
you're
like it
saying,
or
Noah,
not.
is that you're not as good as the Ghostbusters, minus
Yeah.
Ray.
Minus Ray, yeah. I'm probably the most like Ray out of the four.
Austin is totally the EPA guy.
Oh, what am I, Walter Peck?
You're
What?
not even one of
How
the
How did I
Ghostbusters?
go from Slimer to Walter Peck?
You're Walter Peck. Fuck you.
What? Yeah, where did that come from?
You said crossing the streams was bad.
Definitely a very slim chance we'll survive.
I love this plan. happy to be a part of it.
I like how he slaps Dan Aykroyd before he says it.
I love this plan.
I like Stay Puft's horrified look when he climbs up and he sees what they're doing.
Oh yeah, right before he gets his face blown.
Yeah, where he's like,
yeah, he's like, whoa.
I mean, they would all be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no surviving that.
The entire roof exploded. Like, look at that.
This is also a very phallic scene.
Oh,
Giant
because the tower
with
is blowing.
with an explosion, and now you have all this white.
And then Egon's like, "Oh, I feel like the floor of a taxi cab."
That doesn't even sound like Walter Peck.
And they splooged all over the peck.
His peck. His pecker. Yeah, we're about to see everybody completely covered in marshmallow, except for Bill.
Why are they dripping with goo?
Why am I
That does kind of look like shaving.
That's
was
probably
probably
what
shaving
they would use. What they used, yeah.
Yeah. I love at the end of Ghostbusters too, where, yeah, no, she's like, hey man, I love you.
Yeah, because Dan Aykroyd's like, "Hey,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I love you. I love you so."
Yeah, because, like, earlier he's like, I love you guys. I love Venkman. I love this job. Yeah,
Ghostbusters 2 is so good.
Ghostbusters 2 does not get enough appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a perfect movie like this, but it's good.
Yeah. It's not a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, that's for sure.
And it's the second
Wait,
best
is that
Ghostbusters
audience
movie.
or critical
It's
score?
critic.
The 2016 movie has a higher score than that.
The 2016 movie has a
Yep.
higher score than Afterlife. Yeah, it's the second highest
That's
score.
fucking embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
I don't even love Ghostbusters 2, but I'd watch it any day over 2016.
2 has the worst score out of all of them, and it's the second best one.
Critics are dumb. Yeah, I mean,
I like John how you went, is it? Like, it's just...
It's better than the 2016 movie.
I will give you that much. I have to see Afterlife first before I can make a...
Yeah. I mean, I like Afterlife, but...
It was a better movie than Afterlife, but I enjoyed Afterlife.
I can't believe we're already at the end.
The way they blacked out her Sigourney Weaver's nose made her look like Michael Jackson when she was looking at the camera.
Oh my god, what is it with you and Mike Jackson?
Here's a cameo from my cat.
Is that the one that almost killed you?
Yeah, it's the only one I have.
Oh, okay.
I think she's gonna try to kill me right now.
We're gonna need a sample of your brain tissue.
Okay.
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 Smoke 'em if you got 'em. I like how they all walk out, and they all just get to like walk away except for Louis Tully, who gets dragged away by the paramedics.
They leave Winston all alone for some reason. Get out of the...
So these are my favorite credits of any movie ever.
Yeah.
There's just something about the credits to Ghostbusters, and I love that the second one does it too. And I was very disappointed that Afterlife
did not
didn't bring
do
it back. Yeah.
They don't do it in 2016 either, I don't think.
Yeah, but that's because 2016 is fucking retarded.
Because it's not a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah. I know, just the theme. You got like all of them walking out to,
Yeah.
and like the names is like the
It's just
actors come
perfect.
out. Yeah, and then you like cut to different people and stuff. I don't. It's so good.
I'm an eyewitness.
Gives
I
me
was up there.
the nostalgia, the warm and fuzzies. Yeah, William Atherton, that's the guy's name that plays Peck.
And then we're gonna spend like 2 minutes on just Ray trying to back out of here.
Ghostbusters t-shirts. I am now.
Sing the marshmallow.
Yes.
No, they're blessing the Ghostbusters, and they do it like to the rhythm when like it cuts to them. It's great. That was probably accidental, but it's great.
It's cool.
Yeah, Josh, this movie's awesome.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Perfect movie.
Stop dancing.
I was doing that guy.
dancing.
That was dance.
Stop dancing.
Hey, Ghostbusters 2 has a ton of dancing, and it's great.
You guys haven't suffered through 2016 like I have. I've only seen the clips.
That was your mistake.
You guys will know my pain.
You'll know my pain.
Sometimes you are filled with such anger, and the only way to let it out is with a primal scream. Like the one that Slimer just did.
Yeah.
Well, everybody watching, thank you guys for hanging out. This has been the Haven of Horror Ghostbusters commentary. Noah, Austin, thank you guys for joining us. Noah, always good to have you on. We've got a couple things planned, me and you.
I guess I'm only on Ghostbusters related videos.
For now, but we've got
now.
that special commentary planned. I'm
That's
excited
true.
for that.
That'll be an interesting experiment.
We're doing the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie blind commentary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because neither of us have. I've only seen it once, and it was like 10 years ago, and he's never seen it, and I've been showing him the show.
I just know the first 2.5 seasons.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Unknown Passenger, thanks for hanging out. Josh, thanks for hanging out.
There was a cable man in this movie named Jack Walpa.
We will talk at you guys later. Austin still has to pick what movies he wants us to cover, and so we will have new reviews up next Tuesday and Thursday.
Right.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.